All right, from the subjective portion, has the athlete sustained a possible head trauma? Yes or no? Was the athlete removed from play? Let's say yes. Has the athlete ever injured this area before? So if you don't know, you can put not applicable, but maybe you ask the question and they're like, yeah, I have a case of these injuries happening. Fill in the previous injury date, and if they don't know, just put in as many details as you can. So, let's say you don't know, you can list today's date and just say, a couple months ago, injured ankle in the same way. So you can also, for the description of the injury, it's either acute or chronic. So is there pain when, as you do your assessment, running, landing, cutting, etc.? And then you have a pain scale 1 through 10 based on what the athlete communicates. You can also include current medications in here that you want to put in. So let's say you wanted to put in, Tylenol, or even just like including ice. You can actually save that here. Let's go to the objective portion. So from the objective portion, what was the mechanism of injury? How did it happen? You can describe the injury again from an objective standpoint. Gross deformity, yes or no? Swelling, bleeding, bruising. And again, these are all made with radio buttons, so it'll be pretty easy to use on your phone. And as you add normal, abnormal, you can describe that as well. So let's move on to the assessment. So from the assessment that you do, range of motion, active, passive, resisted, strength. So just to note for this portion, it is at 20% increments. We are looking at potentially making those, anywhere between 5 to 10% increments in the future. But for the purposes right now, just get as close as you can. If you ran any other special tests, I would document that here. And then for concussions, neurological findings, functional assessments, etc. So functional assessments, so ability to stand, balance, double leg stance. These are some of the other tests that you'll be running. You can include them there. If you didn't run the test, you can put not applicable. And then finally, the ICD-10 code. So let's say this is the diagnosis that would be included. So let's say there's a sprain. You would include dislocation, sprain, strain of joints and ligaments of head. So sprain, you can basically type in what type of sprain it is. Again, we are looking to make this a little bit easier to use in terms of making it, a top 5 or top 10 injury list, but that will be kind of as the process goes on. So I would say try and fill in the diagnosis to the best of your abilities. And then if you don't know or have any questions, there is from a desktop perspective, there is a way you can download the ICD-10 codes. I would not recommend doing that on your phone because a lot of phones will crash just because the Excel document is larger. So put in notes as well for that diagnosis, and then, pain to touch 1 through 10. This is an interesting feature. If you want to take any pictures, do any recordings, anything like that, you can do that within the profile itself. Choose, and then choose to upload files, upload that video, that picture, etc., to the injury report, just showing that it's the additional documentation that went into it. Finally, there's the plan. So, do they need a doctor clearance? A lot of this is not going to be completely necessary for what you're doing, but if you did give any sort of treatment or management plan, or you wanted to include any notes on the injury, I would include that here. The workout treatment assessment portion you can use. So let's say happened today, and then you want to add a treatment. So cryotherapy, cold therapy, added ice for 30 minutes. You would save it, and then it would actually be saved to the profile. And then finally, you complete the report. And that then is communicated out to anybody associated with that particular athlete. So if there are additional athletic trainers who are in this tournament, they'll actually see that report come through as well. And as you can see here, this is the report of all the information that you filled out. You can see here's where the injury happened, additional information that you all have included. Clearance files, so you can go up and upload additional files, post a comment as well. So these comments are timestamped. So let's say, he came back to you 30 minutes later and it was swelling more. So additional swelling. You can post that comment there. And that effectively is the application as it stands. So you can see here, you can return to play. So let's say you took him out, but he is, ready to at least get back into some non-contact drills. You can include that and save that status from where he's at. And that will, again, alert the other athletic trainers who are involved.